And welcome back, everyone, to the final part of What If Deku Were the Son of Lobo, Part 7. Didn't come back yesterday. Things got away from me, but we're here now. So we catch up after the fact with, if I remember correctly, Deku would have gone through the joint training arc, and really we'd be moving into the paramilitary arc, the temporary war arc. The first incursion, let's call it. Now, someone brought up that it was only the first time that Deku accessed Black Whip that was emotionally based. The rest of the times he started, after a conversation in the hospital, he could actually communicate with the vestiges and they have access to their quirks. So, as it stands, he has access to Float and Black Whip. I would think after a while, he most likely he's gained access to Danger Sense and Fog. But we do know that the last two quirks, the second and third users' quirks, those ones he still had to earn their, let's call it respect, trust, whatever you want to call it. So they were still apprehensive. But that being said, him accessing those quirks would probably come after his fight with Shigaraki. Speaking of which, the next time we see Deku is probably in that scenario, in that fight with Shigaraki. Now, Deku in the original was at about 35% of One For All's full power when using full cowling. Because Deku's body is much stronger here, I would argue he's at least at 40, 45, maybe pushing 50. So he's gotten pretty powerful, and he's got his own natural physicality, along with regenerative healing factor. So when him and Shigaraki actually do go toe-to-toe, he is delivering just frankly more powerful hits than his canon counterpart. He's able to use Black Whip, using it like change, getting everyone off the ground, binding Shigaraki, smashing him. But also he has Danger Sense, knows how to use it, knows how to bob and weave. Plus, he's got Fog to confuse Shigaraki quite a bit. Unfortunately, that would be a problematic move, simply because if he obscures Eraserhead's vision, Aizawa's vision, he's not going to be able to negate Shigaraki's abilities. To be fair, he did ultimately have to close his eyes when he had his leg chopped off anyway, or chopped his leg off anyway. So, with that being said, how does the fight between Shigaraki and Deku go after that? Because Deku would have already been holding an edge. Here, he's very much beating on Shigaraki. Now that Shigaraki's got a regenerative healing factor up and able, he has the extra access to all the quirks. They're probably going toe-to-toe. Deku's limbs are smashing, but his healing factor's kicking in, healing him up. I could even see him doing something cool, like, wrapping his hands in, like, Black Whip boxing gloves, or even creating, like, a dual limb similar to, like, say, what's his name? Not Shoto. Is it Shogi? Is that his name? The Tentacle, as his name was, or Tentacool, whatever, however he put his name, him, and making maybe dark whip limbs and all that. I think they are going toe-to-toe. That healing factor, though, is almost as good as Deku's. In fact, it's a little quicker on the draw for the amount of wounds he's getting than Deku. We actually see how quickly he heals. It is quicker than what Deku's has been showing. Like, major wounds still heal, like broken arms, but it just takes a bit. And Shigaraki probably at one point says, "You'll give me One For All." It's like, the fat chance! Well, what if I just take it from your corpse? Perhaps if I just take out your heart or your brain, maybe that will do it. And he has and they're clashing again. Ultimately, he sees the vestige of One For All in Shigaraki. He is, thinking words here. He has to push back as hard as he can, and they save him from having his quirk stolen. Ultimately, Shigaraki, I think, would have to backpedal here. He's getting more messed up in this fight than he did in the original, but he does have to backtrack, just because he can't go up against Deku this strong, unfortunately. So they have to retreat, and Deku and everyone are just kind of nursing their wounds. Obviously, Bakugo got pretty screwed up in the fight. Best Genius showed back up, and he did his best to hold Gigantomachia. But you would still get Deku, Girl's looking over, and it's like, once again, that healing factor of yours, boy, is quite impressive. Quirk or not, you are something amazing. Thanks, Recovery Girl. I know what you're thinking. And really, he has to make the same choice he did, go all vigilante. Now, I'm going to fast forward through a lot of the vigilante stuff because it's just going to lead to the same point where they're in the war again. He still fights Lady Nagant and Muscular. In fact, this time he just beats Muscular straight out without even having to use any extra quirks. Just boom! He's probably at like a 60% of One for All. And so he probably doesn't even need to use Fajin to beat Lady Nagant, but he certainly has to. I think he does it anyway, just for the extra that sense of mind, if you will. I mean, he throws Black Whip at her, grabs the rifle, just smacks her. I can't remember the name of the hypnosis villain he was fighting and almost got beaten by until Class 1A showed up. And Class 1A basically just comes in and just like, oh, we're not letting you go where? I'm fine, really, I'm fine. That whole scene happens. But the problem here is that Deku is more powerful. Even then, we know Deku was frankly more powerful than them, with every quirk he had under his belt. But he was also running himself so ragged that he just couldn't handle it. He could not take them on, especially because he wasn't trying to hurt them, really. He just tried to get away. And so even though his stamina is probably better here, it's still not enough. And so they bring him back and everyone's happy. Woohoo. Him and Ochaka, have a moment together. Great. Well, the fight actually comes to them, and they go to the fight, I should say. And as before, Deku gets separated. Toga's like, no, Deku, come back, I love you, so let me drink your blood. It's like, huh? I was like, are you crazy? That's not what love is. It's like, and it's like, go, Deku, go. It's like, we've got her. It's like, fine, he has to, rush in. Finally comes in against Shigaraki. And a lot of this would go roughly the same, but again, Deku's physicality is so much so that he is able to dish in more powerful hits. When Shigaraki's quirks negated, his body's natural more mutations now take over, like the extra hands and fingers and all that, and Deku's smacking him around, using gear shift, all that. It isn't until we get to the point in the fight where One for All comes back. Sorry, All for One. I always do that. Comes back into the play, and he basically takes over Shigaraki's body. And Deku's missing his arms. He's got to give up One for All. He's missing his arms. His arms are growing back, though. It's just taking him as, I swear. No, I swear, I'm not going to give you up. I'm not going to take it. It's like, is this really? I am done with this. Be gone for a minute. And all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, you just hear so this is what my kid's been doing this whole time. And there he is, floating down from space of all things. They don't know where he came from. He's just there. So you want to hit the main man's kid. It's like, who are you? I already told you I'm the main man. Name's Lobo. Intergalactic bounty hunter, lover extraordinaire, last Zarni, and all that kind of, it's like, All for One's just like, I don't care. And just blast Lobo. It's like, and the blow is got some injuries, but he's quickly just, like, all right, I'll give you that. That hurt. Now, Lobo's strength, as depicted, has been depicted different in some earlier incarnations. He's sometimes not much stronger than a normal guy. Most of the time, though, he is strong enough to go toe-to-toe with Superman. Like, he's literally dragged Solaris, a sentient star, around. He has condensed the city into the palm of his hand and ate it. So, strength-wise, there's no one on this planet, even a Prime All Might, who would be able to really go toe-to-toe with Lobo. And he just smarts back, just grabs the chain, he's got a fist through his stomach. What is he? Just tries to use the K on Lobo, and Lobo's like, okay, I don't like that. And just it's kind of fighting his regeneration a little bit. It's like going up and down his arms. All right, that's gonna take a moment. Frag it. And so All for One is just like, who is this guy? I don't. Lobo. Deku's like, I don't know, but he said my son. Wait, no, that can't be. No, whatever. This is not the point right now. And finally, John's going and get, he's still got the embers of One for All. Just, and he rushes in. All right. Oh, okay. Now you're starting to get on my nerves. I don't know who you are, but stop it. It's like, huh? It's like, what are you, kid? Look, kid. Deku, I know as a lot for you. I said, shut up. We'll deal with you later. And then finally, he comes in. He's like, this is your friends with me. And comes in. He delivers basically all he has, and trying to save Shigaraki. And ultimately, it has to be between Deku and him. It's like, and oh, I get it, some sort of honor crap or whatever. He's just leaning on his bike and just like, all right, just. And so we know One for All is defeated, Shigaraki's defeated. Well, I gotta say, kid, you're a chip off the old block indeed. It's like, you're my dad? It's like, you know it, kid. You got them good genes. Good genes from the main son indeed. Give me 5. And all of a sudden, Deku just, or maybe just boom. Which, by the way, not checkmate me dirty. Deku admittedly is probably would be willing to fight dirty. Plus, I'd be willing to say, Deku, I know we are heroes and we try not to kill and all that, but there's nothing against fighting dirty. And if some guy is literally going to try to decay giant chunks of the world and just destroy civilization, a nut check. Just take him. Just, boom. Do it multiple times until he can barely feel it. Seriously, fuck your code of honor when it comes to nut checks. Just boom, right in the gonads. He'd feel it. I have to believe he'd feel it. Just nut check Shigaraki. Boom. Ah! Seriously, I don't know. Anyway, it's like, where the hell have you been? Hey, okay, kid, look, I know you're, stop hitting me in the nuts, you little shit. And just Deku starts beating the hell out of his dad. Where are you? Yeah, what know what you did to Mom? It's like, hey, no, just boom. It just starts, he did Lobo, just getting shit, but he's also kind of like, all right, I kind of had this covered a little bit. Okay, all right, we done? You're not going to kill me. I'm just going to heal. So why don't we just take a boom? Brace his nose repeatedly until Deku finally just just kind of just screams out. It's like, all right, look, I owe you an explanation, all that, and I can't say it's a good excuse or anything. But at the time, I was a younger bounty hunter. Okay, need to make my living. And your mom, she was something else, kid. I'll say that. But then she said she was pregnant. Look, the main man's not supposed to have kids. What you? And kids, I was scared, Midoriya. All right, I was scared about what I would turn you into. All right. I'm a rotten bastard to my car, okay? But that doesn't mean I don't care about things. I only care about 3 things. 3 things: myself, dolphins, and the one woman I left behind. And the one woman is like, what? Your mother? Is it what? All right, I care about your mother. All right, and and Deku's kind of like, no, you're enjoying this, are you? Yeah, a little bit. That's my boy. And Dad, Deku's like, it's kind of like he's got some tears in his eye. If I just gives it, I miss you. I finally get to meet you. And Deku was like, oh, he's like, but he has a smile like, all right, having a kid ain't so bad. Hey, what's up, everyone? Name's Lobo. It's like, what just happened here? So you cut to after that at the Midoriya household, and Lobo's like, hey, look, I love you, babe. It's like, it's not what you think. And she's probably just like, it's like, you, and she's just like saying, you son of a, oh, God. And it's like, yeah, how do you think I've felt these last years? And now you won't even want me anymore. It's like, what? What do you mean, babe? It's like, look at me, look at fat my balls. It's like, babe, you're as hot as the day we date. Babe, just because you gained a few pounds doesn't mean you ain't still the woman I fell in love with. In fact, Midoriya, how about a little? In fact, and I've been missing you, babe. And like, oh, Lobo. It's like, and Deku's like, oh, that's nice. Hey, how'd you like a little brother and sister? It's like, oh, Lobo. And Deku's like, ha, 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 ha. And just runs out the house. And so he would cut to the very end of the series where they've it's the time gap or time skip. I mean, they go back to school. Deku's now has a little sister or brother. Lobo's kind of now forced to hang around there a little bit and try to be a father. He's like, oh God, I need a job. He's like, you can be a hero. Really? Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Banking? But instead he's probably like does like bike shows or something like that. And because of alien physiology and being arguably the strongest guy on the planet, he's able to probably get some good work. Government probably uses him for things that they don't want to talk about, and he's not allowed to talk about. A little Task Force X-esque. But really, Deku... Now, does Deku become a teacher here? I could see him being more like a physical teacher, or maybe he's still being a hero, quite frankly. I don't really see why he wouldn't. He doesn't have one for all anymore, but he's still got his Zardian physiology. And he just gets stronger the more he trains. So he's not as strong as Lobo, but he's definitely stronger than pretty much any of the current heroes. That's for certain. So I could see him still being a hero, quite frankly. And maybe still coming in as like a teacher's aide or something like that, and, tell him his experience. Ultimately, though, I think the difference, quite frankly, is I think he does try to just straight out ask Urahara out. Urahara Kisuke. And say, oh, hey there, sorry, but I've already got my cat lady. It's okay. No, Uchako. Uraraka. I think he actually does try to not put the moves, but legit, like, I like Uraraka. I'm going to ask her out. And Uraraka, again, is probably just... Look, that is legit. That is actually a problem I had with her character. Not to say that, making money is wrong. In fact, that's not her reasoning for becoming a hero is fine. It's her adamant not wanting to try to get involved with Midoriya because she wanted to focus on being a hero. You're only 6 freaking teen, okay? These are, while you going hero is great, this is your formative years, okay? Like, try to experience life. But B, putting things aside and then thinking, oh, I'll have time for that later, doesn't always work out. In fact, there's a lot of cases where that does not work out. So, yeah, I would just, I don't, it's one of the only things I didn't like about Uraraka's character. I'm like, what? That's dumb. Like, that's, like, maybe, like, for the first year or two, focus on that, but not for, like, 10 years. Come on. Oh, man, my throat's starting to get a little sore. I got one more video to do. But anyway, yeah, I think, and they eventually, get together. So therein lies the end of What If Midoriya Were the Son of Lobo. Now, as a very patient viewer of mine has been asking, the next 3 what ifs are going to be Dragon Ball Z related what ifs. There you go. And I think something fun we can do with the My Heroes is when we get to one of the next 3 Dragon Balls, we'll then do a What If Deku Had a Devil Fruit and a Zanpakuto video. Then we'll do another 3 Dragon Balls, and then we'll do another 3 My Heroes. I think that's a good balance. I like that balance. And that way we get a little bit of the Zanpakuto Devil Fruit from Naruto thrown into My Hero as well. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.